I'm going to be busy for a bit, but I wanted to leave something in the meantime. This is from a game called Glitchhikers. Essentially, it's just a conversation game where you talk to NPCs, and the topics are quite. They'd be very grand, they could be kind of depressing, but at the same time, all heavy and interesting. It also has some nice, chill vibes that I enjoy in a game. And so I wanted to leave this here if you wanted to get an idea of what the game is like. Also, leave a link to it in Steam. And I tried to voice the characters because there is no voice dialogue, so hopefully if you're just listening, you'll hear what they have to say. Hello again. I'm aware that some of the conversations you may have on your journey can be tough, or bring up things that you may struggle with personally. I don't ever want to pry or judge. Please let me know if I'm overstepping my bounds and I won't bring this up again, but do you need help outside of this game in this space? Okay, please talk to me or someone else if that changes.
Good evening, and welcome to Radio 90 Night Drive. Thanks for tuning in. The story goes that early film viewers panicked at the sight of a train rushing towards them. On the web, we navigate spaces shaped by information and data. In video games, we will our avatar bodies to weave around obstacles, and in VR, our stomachs turn at the edge of a digital cliff. We immerse ourselves in a reality on a screen, a reality that is no less real than any other. Realities within realities that sometimes tell us more about our own reality than what we think is real. And what we think is real is telling. What will your brain tell you as you drive the dark roads of reality? What truths are rushing towards you? And when the spectacle gets all too real, will you panic like the apocryphal film viewers, or drive on? With our next song, Turtles All the Way Down.
This seems like an important journey for you. Why did you pick me up? Ah yes, the road is a lonely place, and company can be good. Then again, would Odysseus' journey have been as meaningful if he didn't do it alone? Who can say? Well, thank you. The night is cold and the world is wide. Connecting with one person seems a miracle in a world with over 7 billion souls. Possible, yes, but how often do you truly connect with someone, to understand them and have them understand you, to feel you have become more than you were before? Over 7 billion people. Such a difficult number to even comprehend. 7 billion seconds ago, I was 222 years younger. Imagine, we all came from the same place thousands of years ago, all of us, common ancestors. The Hindi language has roots in common with Greek, Russian, and English. In those ancient times, we knew so much less about how the world worked. We created stories to explain it, rituals to give our lives order in a place that seemed to have little. They are. They allow us to empathize more widely. They communicate, they teach, they entertain, they make us think and grow. Perhaps stories themselves are our meaning. The value of life's in the sharing, yes? In Vedic times in India, the basis of early Hinduism, two of the major deities were Agni and Soma. Agni is personification of the ritual of fire in which offerings were burnt to give to the gods. Smoke rose into the heavens, you see, carrying the message to the divine where mortals could not go. Agni was a messenger. If things put in the fire rose to the heavens, why didn't the people jump into the fires themselves? Soma personified a holy drink that granted immortality. One of the offerings to the gods, some believe it was a hallucinogen, drunk in holy ecstatic ritual, the god of bad trips perhaps. And the imagery has survived to this day. Soma is commonly used in reference to a narcotic and pharmacological substances, the word traveling through the ages. Even the ideas have lives and journeys. Both Agni and Soma represent types of journeys, ways we try to understand the world, and we still try. We are faced with an uncaring universe, and yet fewer and fewer people embrace the comfort of religion. We all must seek understanding of the universe and our place in it in our own way. Though is it not also important to find connections with others, community? We are all on our journeys, driving. Why do you drive this night? The same journey as us all. I wish you luck. We must all try to find our way.
Do you see the signs? Do you take solace from the moon above, the lonely light in the darkness, the trees in bloom? Are you chilled by the abandoned playset, the phone from another time, the specter of death following you? What towns do you pass unnoticed? What stars blink out without being seen? Meaning cannot be thrust upon us. Decisions are ours to make. Unless all of this has happened before. Synapses fire before you've consciously chosen. Did you choose to drive? Magnetar Swing is up next.
Thanks for the pickup. I was beginning to think it would be hours before I got a lift from something worthy. Nah, it's something a little drive can't fix. Just to the next rest stop would be great. Good drive can fix a lot. Mind if I smoke? Good old BC Bud. Everyone needs a little time with their thoughts. Get to know them better, you know? When I was a kid, we had a cabin out on one of the islands. At night you could see thousands of stars. It was so bright you didn't need a flashlight. I gave them all names: Atticus and Caesar, Garuda and Saul. They fought each other in wars of my making. Alliances formed and were broken. Explosions burst across the sky. I was a god to them. Yeah, it might have been a coping strategy. My parents were pretty much ignored me. Father was too drunk, mother too busy. Yeah, I still remember those days fondly. I think that says something about me. One day, a man came to the grassy spot where I played. He said he was from the stars and he pleaded for my mercy. I told him it was all make-believe. He just shook his head. You know, I don't remember. I guess I never saw him again. Too bad I was never really a kid. Thanks for the lift.
How many dimensions do we exist within? 3? 4? 10? Or are we better served by the idea of infinite dimensions? A multiverse of lives and loves, of all the decisions we didn't make, the exits we passed, the words left unspoken. What might we learn if we could see them, visit them, our alternate selves? Is there an enlightenment to be found, or the madness of the infinite? Does it serve you to imagine such an eternity? What exit will you take? Comrade 618 is up next. Keep searching, driver.
Hey, thanks for the ride. I love the road, finding new places to explore along the arteries of the countryside. And thanks for making room for my chair in the back. Nowhere in particular. Wherever you're going, I guess. Travel for me is always something special. Even the most mundane trips, I mean. Movement can bring challenges, but there's always something new and interesting to discover, to uncover. Things you haven't seen before, didn't know were there. Do you find that? We'll never see it all, but that means there's always more to look forward to. I had a friend, or have a friend, who wanted to explore the unexplored. They set out into the universe, leaving the Milky Way far behind. They send me messages sometimes, little cosmic postcards about their latest discoveries. A whole civilization orbiting a black hole, stretched in time. A little planet of tiny volcanoes and baobabs. A world made entirely of living plants, down to its core. I can't respond to them, of course. By the time I get their message, it's been years since they sent it, and they've long moved on to some other new galaxy. I can only read what they send, and well, I hope they know I'm happy and healthy. Sometimes, I wish I could share my life with them too. But at least I got to vicariously explore the universe through them. I love hearing about my friends' new discoveries, but I'm content to stay here. It's in my local area. It doesn't matter if someone else has already explored it. I can always find something new and interesting, and create a shared experience with whoever's been there before. Did you know, just in the city I live in right now, it's a tree that was uprooted and replanted upside down, and is still thriving? Or that there are war-era tunnels under an anthropology museum? Or that the city wouldn't let them build the court building as a skyscraper, so the architect just turned the plans on their side, and to create a building that stretches across 2 whole blocks instead? See, there's all those unknowns out there. But there's an urgent imperative for us to understand our own homes, too. We live here, we work here, we play here, and others do too. We shouldn't take that for granted. There's so much about our own homes we don't usually know. Places we don't go, maybe because they're deemed dangerous, usually just for being outside our social circles. Our lived experience. But we should know those places too. Try to understand them, learn how other people live and why. We have to have empathy. Otherwise, we all just stay in our bubbles, in our loud echo chambers, and nothing ever changes for the better. Exactly. So many different people within unique cultures living full lives. I think that we're worse off for not embracing that tapestry, and not learning how we all live together. Anyway, that's why I love to travel like this. Finding all those places, learning about other folks, how they live, how we all live. I do miss my friend, though. I miss seeing them, miss traveling together. The road can be lonely alone. I'm sorry. Sometimes people we love leave our lives, but their impact on us remains. We're changed for the better because of them. Oh well, so much more to see, so much more to explore. When we really look at places we live, spaces we move through, we're like the eye of the universe, observing the wonder of existence being known. It's important not just to exist here. We should appreciate it, appreciate our home, care for it as we do ourselves, as we should each other.
Spirits surround us. Ideas. They guide us, speak with us, drive with us. Their reality, their existence is immaterial. Their power, their influence, paves the roads we travel. They question us, we question them. We seek to understand the forces that surround us. They will never let us. Question them anyway. It's the only way.
Taurus Reptiles is up next.
Who drives with you, driver?
universe is expanding, and yet the universe has no edge. What is it expanding into? I think I'm in 4th year of physics, and even I don't really get it. Infinity's such a beautiful concept, an infinite universe with infinite universes within it. Each of us our own little infinity. See, the thing is, I don't really need to get it. There's like 300 billion stars in our galaxy alone, and billions more galaxies out there. A little single planet doesn't matter a bit in it all. And yet, it's still wonderful, don't you think? Even within an infinity of the unknown, we still have love and happiness in life. In all the crazy infinity that is our existence, in all the vastness of understanding we still lack, there's this amazing thing that is consciousness. Carl Sagan once said that since we are part of the universe, consciousness allows the universe to know itself. That's beautiful. One day in the lab, we were doing chemistry experiments, right? Just a simple grade school exercise of burning different substances to see colors they produce, like fireworks. Magnesium, copper, strontium, lithium. Science and art come together. My lab partner was this girl I didn't know, but she caught my eye right away. Her energy and enthusiasm were so beautiful. We talked about different kinds of stars and the heat death of the universe and the nature of entropy. It was the start of something wonderful. We went away the next day, far away, to a little world of our own, floating amongst nebulae and white dwarfs and undiscovered planets. Her sense of humor was dry. Sometimes I didn't even know she was joking. She said the most absurd things. How she wanted to die in the heart of a star. I said she'd burn up long before she got close, and she looked at me like it was a challenge. We laughed and cried together, helped each other through tough times, family and friends in our own minds. The way she looked at me, a little smile in her eyes, the way she could rattle off chemical equations and the constructions of molecules. She drew them in her sleep, and I watched her eyelids flutter gently, the rise and fall of her chest, the tendons in her arms. We watched fireworks together on New Year's, rattling off the compounds used, the balance of heat and luminosity, then flew off into the sky through the lingering smoke. We were together 6 months before it flamed out, too intense for us to keep it up. But it was beautiful while it lasted. I will always love those days. Love is an amazing thing. That's what it's all about, connecting with other people like that, the universe knowing itself. I'm going to see my new girlfriend now, just outside the city. No matter what humans do, the sun will inevitably grow and consume this planet. One day the solar system will die, it's just gonna happen. But what a wonderful thing to be a part of in the meantime. Gosh, I love driving. Do you love driving? Why do you drive? Right? There are answers out there, and the beauty's in the search. Drive on.
Think of all the radio waves we have beamed out into deep space, the ripples of our lives and times. 100 years of broadcasts from this pale blue dot, an echo across the light years, ever expanding but still insignificantly small. We all share this one universe, but our collective existence has only made a tiny splash in it, and the strongest effect we have is through our impacts on one another. Me, talking to you. I hope you enjoyed the program tonight. Before we part ways, count backwards with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Thanks for listening to Night Drive on Radio 90.
Tension as you hover, uncertain how you feel, uncertain how you feel. This all just seems too real. Uncertain how to cope. Uncertainty is now.